I am 92 years old. The doctors don't say it directly, but I can see it in their eyes. My time is not very long now. So before I leave this world, I want to say something I did not have the courage to admit for 60 years. Last week, my granddaughter Emily, 27 years old, sat beside my bed. She thought I was asleep, but I could hear her crying. She had just been promoted at a large law firm, a high salary, a beautiful office, a proud family. But she said something I will never forget. "Grandpa, I feel like I'm disappearing." I held her hand and told her something I should have told myself 65 years ago. "Emily, don't trade your soul for applause." She looked at me as if I had just cracked something sacred open. I know that feeling. I spent almost my entire life trying to make other people feel comfortable, trying to make them proud, trying not to disappoint anyone, and the price I paid was not small. Is there anyone listening who is also lying in a hospital bed in the final chapter of life, just like I am? If that's you, would you leave me a comment and let me know? I would truly like to hear from you. When I was 24 years old, I wanted to become a photographer. I didn't dream about fame. I dreamed about the early morning light shining through a window, about elderly faces telling stories through their wrinkles, about long highways where wide-open America revealed its rough, honest beauty. I bought my first camera with money I earned working part-time at a gas station. I carried it everywhere. Every time I pressed the shutter, I felt like I was preserving something real, something true about life. But my father didn't see it that way. He grew up in deep poverty. He once slept in a truck during the winter just to survive. When I spoke about photography, he didn't hear passion. He heard the risk. One evening, very calmly, he said to me, "David, find something stable. Life is hard enough." I believed him. I thought that because he loved me, he must know what was best for me. So I applied for a job at an accounting firm. Stable work, steady paycheck. My family felt relieved. I told myself I would do it for a few years, then come back to my camera. But a few years turned into 30. I did well at my job. I was promoted. I bought a house. I raised children. I became a reliable man. The camera sat in the attic. Every now and then, I would bring it down and wipe the dust off. I always said, when I retire, I'll start shooting again. But passion is not a light switch you can turn back on after leaving it off for 40 years. Once, at age 55, I was standing in the Arizona desert at sunrise during a business trip. The light that morning was breathtaking. I stood there for a long time, just watching it. I didn't have a camera with me, and what hurt the most was this. I didn't even feel the urge to run and find one. When I retired, I bought a new camera. The technology was better, but my hands were shaky. My eyes were weaker. I took a few photos, but the feeling wasn't the same. What still troubles me is not that I never became famous. It's that I never found out who I might have become if I had been brave enough to try. My father loved me. I have no doubt about that. But he gave me advice from his fear, not from my potential. And so I lived most of my life in safety, but not fully as myself. There are questions you can ignore when you're 30, but at 90 they come back. And the question that has followed me all these years is this: what if I had not been afraid? I have a friend named Thomas. We've known each other since high school. We played ball together, enlisted together, and stood beside each other on our wedding days. There were things I never told anyone else, but I told him. When we turned 40, we started a small business together. I trusted him completely. We didn't draw up a tight contract. I believed 30 years of friendship was enough. Then a hard year came. Revenue dropped. Pressure grew. During an important meeting with investors, a financial mistake was brought up. Thomas was the first to speak. He said the decision had been mine. He said he had advised me to be more careful. I sat there, listening to each word, and felt my heart sink. I could have defended myself. I had emails. I had proof. But when I looked into his eyes, I didn't see cruelty. I saw fear. Fear of losing his position. Fear of being seen as incompetent. Fear of failure. The meeting ended. The company survived. But something inside me did not. That night, I sat alone in my car. I was angry, and I was deeply hurt. Part of me wanted to call him and confront him. Another part of me wondered, did I trust too easily? What hurt wasn't just being blamed. It was the image I had carried for 30 years that our friendship was untouchable and watching it fall apart. I realized I had placed a burden on his shoulders that no one could carry, to always be loyal, always be steady, always put me on equal ground with himself, no matter the circumstances. But Thomas was only a man, a human being, with bills to pay, with his own insecurities, with silent battles I never saw. It took me many years to understand this. We don't suffer only because someone hurts us. We suffer because our illusion about who we thought they were has shattered. And when that illusion falls away, we are forced to learn a hard lesson. No one is born to be the permanent foundation of our safety. They are just trying to survive, just like we are. If I could go back to when I was 30, I would tell myself 3 things. First, love does not always mean clear direction. Someone can love you deeply and still give advice rooted in their own fear. If I had understood that sooner, I would have asked myself one simple question before every major decision. Has this person lived the life they truly wanted? If the answer was no, I would still listen with respect, but I would not hand them the steering wheel. Instead of giving up photography completely, I could have kept my steady job and devoted my evenings and weekends to what I loved. Not every choice has to be extreme. Life is not always all or nothing. Second, don't make permanent decisions just to calm a temporary fear. I was afraid of failing, so I chose safety. But fear is often loudest right before you try something new. If I had it to do over again, I would give myself 1 full year to seriously pursue what I loved before drawing conclusions. 1 year of trying will not ruin your future, but decades of regret just might. Third, don't hand your happiness over for someone else to manage. I used to believe that if my father was proud of me, I would finally feel at peace. But peace only came when I accepted that I would have to live with the consequences of my own choices, not his. Write down what you truly want before you ask for advice. Make your decision based on your values first, then share it with others. Life doesn't change because of grand speeches or dramatic moments. It changes because of the quiet decisions you are brave enough to make on your own. There is a concept I learned far too late in life, the inner stronghold. It is a place inside you that no one has the right to enter unless you allow it. Every time you make a difficult decision on your own, you lay one brick. Every time you take responsibility for your mistakes, you lay another. Every time you choose what feels right in your conscience, even when others don't understand, the walls grow stronger. I'm not saying you must stop loving your family. I loved my father. I forgave him long ago. He was simply a man who had known hunger and cold, and he did not want his son to suffer the same. I forgave Thomas too. He was afraid. But after everything, this is what I learned. Love them. Be grateful for them. Listen to them. But when it comes time to choose the direction of your soul, step into that quiet room inside yourself and decide there. You have one life. It is shorter than you think. Don't live it only to ease someone else's worries. If these words touch the quiet place within you, stay a while. Not because I need more subscribers at my age. Numbers don't mean much anymore. But because in a noisy world you need a place that gently reminds you time is limited and this life belongs to you.